Hey, what's up guys? Cool Dude here, and today I got a ground war gameplay. I am pretty much solo right now. It's just me, Legend AK, you know who he is, and Dark Killers. This is a pretty old gameplay. Actually, from about a few weeks ago, the kid on the other team that's apparently running SYS, he's not even an SYS. He was a fanboy that wanted to join SYS, but he ended up getting kicked out because he didn't meet the criteria. Now, this entire other team was in a party. The guys that remained in all these guys were in a party together. I'll put the highlight on Smiley Game 69 because he tries to talk a lot of shit about me because he ended up beating me in a ground war match when I was with two or three other guys, which these players weren't as good as me, and I ended up carrying the team. Now, what I just want to highlight on this is if you think you're a tryhard, I'm not going at anyone's neck in this video. I'm not trying to violate anybody, try to piss anybody off. If you think that you're a tryhard, and if you're playing in a six-man party or greater, and you're playing against a weaker party that only has 3 or 4 guys with them, and the guys that are with him aren't as good as him, and you can't make their main player go negative when everyone on your team is using a VSAT, then you really need to go to the drawing board and really figure out what you want to do here. Especially because of the fact when you try to talk shit to me, this is just in a general statement right here, if you're going to talk shit to me when you know I died one off a nuclear against you to a kid that wasn't even relevant, and when you lose every gunfight, you're not a relevant player. And no matter what you say, I have this gameplay right here, and if you want to start something up on Twitter, I am the roast master himself, a retired roast master coming out of retirement. But listen, dude, you're running VSATs, your whole party has them, you just got turned on. Let me play that back real quick. Okay. If you were such a good player, this goes to every tryhard out there. If you're such a good tryhard, how the fuck do you get turned on like that? Okay, let's be honest here. The difference that separates a tryhard from a average player to a pub stomper, and I'll point this out real quick. This will be the commentary topic of the video, rewarding good players. Now, as we all know, every Call of Duty has a learning curve, or it doesn't have a learning curve. If we rewind past in time, Call of Duty 4, World at War, and I'm just going to throw Modern Warfare 3 in there. Besides the death streaks, those games had a serious learning curve. Like Modern Warfare 3, sure you had the ACR, sure you had the MP7, sure you had Dead Man's Hand and Final Stand. So there was a lot of bullshit in the game that kind of disrewarded really good players like the spawn protection. But if you didn't have gun skill, you got bodied in that game. There was no excuse to why you would lose a gunfight if you were a good player if the other team obviously was 4-bar and you were 4-bar. The other thing I want to point out about a learning curve in a game is the ability to be able to control the game solo. Me, I am able to change a game just myself. I can drop VSATs against anybody. I could streak anybody if I have a decent team, which is not sitting in the spawn and making me spawn next to them, getting me fucking wrecked. Now, the difference between a tryhard and a pub stomper and just your average Joe Schmo is your tryhard is a guy who wants to be good at the game and tries to talk shit when he gets one good gameplay in all his lifetime. Now, a really good player is somebody who can drop streaks, has a YouTube channel, can do whatever he needs to do, and he is just an overall great player. Now, the other thing I want to point out to your average Joe Schmo is the guy who gets on the game and don't even give a fuck, and he is the guy that typically the tryhards kill. Now, when you play a ground war match, it's 9v9, and if for those of you that are in this community that are watching my video, you will understand this. If you're playing ground war and you don't have a full squad and you play against a bunch of tryhards, they end up killing guys who aren't in your party. Like, they try to target the weaker guy. Okay, for example, I'm on point 1 on the map, and they know I'm on point 1. They'll go all the way to point 3 to kill all the scrubs because they know they can't win a gunfight. Then these are the guys that will drop streaks and think they beat you. Meanwhile, you didn't go negative and you streaked them. This is the tryhards. Now, the really good players are guys who work together. No matter who's in the match, they work together nonstop, and they communicate, and they'll take down anybody. They don't just farm off the bad kids. Apparently, this is what goes on in multi-team. If any of you played multi-team, I have played multi-team a few times, and when you play against tryhards, besides them just tack inserting nonstop, they also do a lot of cheeky shit like killing the randoms. Now, apparently, this guy's a YouTube channel, so I guess he kind of makes his way out of the tryhard category. But as you can see in this gameplay, was once I started streaking, he completely ran away from the side of the map that I am on. I'm not going at him saying that he's a bad player, but he is just the example of what I described as a tryhard to a good player to your average Joe Schmo. I'll put him in the tryhard category because 1, he lost every single gunfight to me. 2, he avoided the side of the map that I was on. And 3, he got turned on. Now, if you're going to start some kind of ruse on Twitter because you won one game, the fact you pull out a Remington on overflow, that should just say something about you in general. This is not, like I said, this isn't directed towards you. This is just the general audience of the Call of Duty community. It's something that needs to be fixed, and, I mean, it's something that needs to be fixed. It's just something that needs to be addressed within Advanced Warfare or future CODs. The learning curve needs to come back. So guys who think they are good, like your average quote-unquote try-hard, the guys that think they're good, just continue to get stomped as they get stomped in this game. Now, I'm just going to point this out. You say you're a good player. Me and Lead Haxers here both drop, I believe we both get 69 kills. I can count on 2 hands. Not even 2 hands. I can count on 2 hands in 10 years of playing Call of Duty how many times someone has dropped over 50 kills on me, let alone somebody that died one off a nuclear against me. Now, this has just been cool, dude. I just discussed the difference between a tryhard, a good player, and a Joe Schmo. Let's be honest here. These are like Joe Schmo random motherfuckers that couldn't even win a gunfight and hid from one player the entire match. It's whatever, guys. I'll catch you later in the next video. Hope you enjoy.